Hello, I'm Regina Rowland, and I'm introducing you to SDG 14, Life Below Water. The main goal for this SDG is to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. So we might be thinking about how micro and nanoplastics are dangerous to the oceans. These are tiny granulates that stem, for instance, from decomposed plastic pieces, synthetic cloths, cosmetics and cleaners, etc. And once in the environment, these plastics do not biodegrade. They accumulate in animals, including fish and shellfish, and are consequently also consumed as food by humans. They also end up in the human body. Studies have shown that it can lead to cancer, inflammation, and other toxic effects in all living beings on the planet. Another topic with this SDG is that of eutrophication. And eutrophication is excessive plant and algal growth due to the increased availability of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and nutrient fertilizers. It occurs naturally. However, human activities have accelerated the rate and extent of it, with dramatic consequences for drinking water sources, fisheries, and recreational water bodies. And we might want to think about who owns the sea. There is international law. So in the international law, the area of the sea immediately adjacent to the shores of a state, so up to 22 kilometers from the coast, are subject to territorial jurisdiction of that state. So that leaves a lot of water on the planet for our global concern and care. The model here on ocean and marine pollution shows us the different ways we pollute the oceans. So I want you to dive into that and really think about where you are contributing to these pollutants. SDG 14 has 7 targets and 3 measures. So please read about these and maybe get some ideas how you can contribute, you or your organization. In the report 2020, you can learn about the status quo of the global issues with this SDG, and the European statistics allows you to compare different aspects of this SDG in different European countries. So you can learn about your own country and that of your neighbors and see what's going on there. The implementation in Austria has no recommendations because we are, as many other countries, a landlocked country. And landlocked countries are currently not the focus for contributions on this SDG. However, we also have rivers, and many things end up in our rivers that then end up in oceans. So we definitely have an impact that we want to pay attention to. So what are possible contributions that Austria could make? We could watch for pollutants such as micro and nanoplastics and nutrients like nitrogen entering the marine ecosystems through our rivers. In particular, in this case, our rivers end either in the Black Sea or in the North Sea. We could practice responsible consumption of fishery products, and we could participate more in international efforts to support marine diversity, to mitigate ocean acidification, to guarantee sustainable sourcing, and to make environmental investments. What could organizations do? As with all these design activities, we want to first think about what is the core purpose of an organization, this particular one that we're looking at, and who the internal and external stakeholders are, how this SDG impacts the organization, what challenges and costs emerge from this impact, as well as, on the other hand, what opportunities and benefits arise at the same time. And then think about what contributions we could design for inward and outward actions. And inward and outward actions should synergize and move us towards systemic sustainability, and not in different directions if we don't pay attention to the whole. So what do educational institutions, what tasks do they have? Their responsibility lies in protecting the oceans and marine resources through ocean literacy, and action. An inward action could be to implement measures to help the institution's community to reduce micro and nanoplastics in their lives. So for instance, an easy thing is to ban plastic bottles in the drink machines on campus or in any giveaways, or to enforce green meetings, or to demand that only MSC or ASC certified fish is offered on campus. An outward action could be to lobby for sustainable fish procurement policies and laws for all public organizations, or to co-research how to mitigate water pollution in rivers and how to eliminate micro and nanoplastics from all waters. What could towns do? Villages and cities. Their task lies in regulating wastewater disposal and providing adequate internal policies for the protection of lakes and rivers. Furthermore, they should educate citizens on the topic of water pollution. An inward action could be to support local, sustainability-oriented aquaculture producers of fish, and an outward action could be to lobby for policies and laws that minimize the production and use of plastics in human systems in general. What could organizations of all kinds do? So businesses and not-for-profit organizations. Their task lies in eliminating their own contributions to polluting lakes and rivers and oceans, and to responsibly use water and dispose of waste. An example for an inward action could be to record and disclose information on the chemical and material usage within products, packaging, and processing systems to facilitate closing the loop. An outward action could be to work with suppliers to eliminate micro and nanoplastics from the supply chain. Then the slide deck takes you through an activity where you can think about and design for an organization of your own choice, and to double check your designs against the conditions for systemic sustainability. Then it takes you through a set of reflection questions and offers more resources to learn more. And then we invite you to participate in the SDG journey, where you're asked to observe your own environment under the SDG umbrella for a week. And yes, this is even possible if you're living in a landlocked country. You might then think about your own consumption of fishery products, the micro and nanoplastic parts in your own cosmetics, toothpaste, for instance, and whether or not you even know where they are in your products and what companies you buy from and what their policies are. Also check the quality of the water in your city and how it is treated and where it ends up. This was it for SDG 14, and I'll see you in another one. Thank you.